Right, today is recovery day. We are going to be doing some prehab exercises for my entire body. So if you guys are sore from a workout or training session, then today will be, you can utilize this for today as a kind of a post recovery flow. So the first thing we're going to do is back exercises. We're going to start in tabletop position. We are going to start with cat cows. I have a friend that calls them meow moos. Merrick calls them meow moos. And at first I didn't know what that meant, but then I realized meow like a cat and moo like a cow. So cat cows are meow moos. But you're in this tabletop position. I'm gonna do about 10. The focus here should be anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions. If you're relatively new, you wanna press through your palms, tuck your rib cage, tuck your pelvis, tuck your chin, press through the palms, separate the back as much as you can. Hold for a second, same thing, drop the belly, lift the chin, try to pull your hands to your knees. That's about 10 reps. Then we're gonna go into bird dog. So you're in an opposite arm, opposite leg, focusing on keeping that core engaged. So think pull belly button to your spine. This is going to be a series of 3 sets or 3 cycles, however you want to call it. But you're alternating arm and leg. As I extend my leg, I want to think of flexing my foot, driving my heel to the wall away from me or behind me. Total of 10, so 5 and 5 on each arm. Another option is to do 5 or 6 if you want to be even. All right, that's an option. You can always give yourself a little bit of a stretch here where you put your hands outside the shoulders, drop the chin, forehead, upper body's really tight. If you did Murph the other day or a lot of pull-ups or anything upper body, this will feel really good. So you're gonna hold this for about 10 seconds. Drop the chin, chest, relax. If this is too much for the shoulders, you always put your butt towards your heels. It's a puppy dog stretch. Next, we're gonna fold, oh goodness, roll into our back. And we're gonna start with 10 glute bridges. You're gonna focus on slowing this movement down. You're gonna tuck the pelvis, press the vertebrae into the floor, 1 vertebrae at a time, going to the top and then returning. You're gonna focus on doing 10 reps here. Feet are about hip width distance apart. You wanna maintain knees over the feet versus knees going out or falling in, collapsing in. So think of a straight line with your knees and ankles. 10 total reps here. If you're new, 10's a lot. You can always modify to 5 reps, but the focus is tuck the pelvis, roll 1 vertebrae at the top, getting to that full open hip here, which is this top position. You're squeezing your glutes and hamstrings. This is going to really focus on strengthening your back. So these exercises, some of them are stretches, some of them are going to be small activation exercises. The focus here, I call them as prehab. So think preventative care. Right, so if you go to rehab for shoulder work, maybe you had shoulder surgery or knee surgery and you're going to do the rehab exercises, you want to rehabilitate the body, this is going to be preventative. So a total of 10 reps, I'm not counting, I'm talking, so hopefully you guys get this. All right, next we're gonna do single leg glute bridges. I'm gonna lift my hips, lift 1 leg, keeping a 90-degree angle with that upper and lower leg. Then we're gonna repeat the exact same thing on the opposite side. So we're doing a total of 10 here on each side. So 20, I guess you want to call that total 20. You could also modify and do 5 and 5 on each side. I'm going to use my left hand to count so I don't lose count. I think that was 5. There you go, 6. The focus here is to press up through that midfoot and heel on the leg that is rooted or grounded. And then I want to maintain my hips square to the floor as I lift my hips. You want to avoid that hip drop. If for whatever reason you're not able to do that, you can modify by dropping the hips a little bit. But the focus here is to get the hips as high as you can in this glute bridge. So that's 10. Itchy, itchy. Now we're going to do dead bugs. So you're gonna press your lower back into the floor. You're trying to create a little bit of flexion. You wanna make sure there's no space so your hand couldn't go through. So squish all the air out. Similar to a bird dog, opposite arm, opposite leg's gonna extend. Woo, the lats are sore from yesterday and the day before. So you're gonna extend the leg. I personally like to keep my leg or my foot off the floor as I extend. I'm engaging my abs, specifically my lower abs. So the more you can press your lower back into the floor, the more you are going to engage those lower abs. The focus here is to work the small stabilizer muscles while we do these exercises. If I sound out of breath, talking and trying to work out at the same time is definitely difficult. So I'm trying not to scream or yell into the mic. I don't know what number I'm on. We'll do maybe 2 more on each side. Focus here again, drop the leg, drop the arm. Focus on the lower abs being engaged as I extend. All right, another exercise that we're gonna do here, part of my back prehab exercises. So again, this is a routine you guys can follow for some movement to help you feel better after training, or if you're looking to incorporate this before your routine, this could be a good warm up for you. Next, we're gonna flex the feet, tap the heels, same concept, press the lower back into the floor. I'm gonna slowly pull my legs up, gently bring my knees up. If you need assistance, you can grab the knees and pull. If you feel like you have pretty good lower body strength, you can keep your hands off. I typically keep my hands off on the way down, so the lowering portion, or kind of eccentric movement here, I'm really trying to press the lower back to the floor. And as I come back up, I just do a gentle tug. I'm trying to create some flexion and opening on that lower back here. Legs are tucked. This is similar to an exercise I was doing that was given to me by my PT for my spine. We're gonna do a total 10 reps here. Good, now we're gonna create a T with our arms, 90-degree angle with the legs. We're gonna drop legs to one side, back to center. So this is a little bit of lower body, but also core. We're getting some rotation of the torso. We're gonna do total of 10 on each, or excuse me, so we'll say total of 20, 10 on each side. And I'm trying to keep my palms like flush with the floor, in contact with the floor as I rotate. I notice when I go to the right with my legs, my arm stays down. As I go to the left, since my right side's tighter and I've been having more pinching on the back because of my bulging disc, my right arm kind of comes up. You can kind of see that right here. So I try to keep my palms facing down. You can rotate palm face up. I just find it easier. I can actively press down into the floor as I'm rotating here. Total 20, 10 and 10. You can always modify to 10 total. So 5 and 5 on each side if you want. And I'm just trying to keep my legs together, keeping that 90-degree angle as I do these rotations. And we're just gonna do essentially one set of these other exercises, but the back exercises we're gonna do a little more. Last one, create a kind of a pyramid with your feet, hands to the side, same thing, rotate. The focus here is to keep the feet or side of the foot in contact with the floor. So you notice that as I rotate over, the blade of my foot still in contact. Obviously the arch of the foot's gonna come up as I rotate away. Same thing, 20 total, 10 and 10 on each side. This is just a little bit of spinal movement. If you don't get a lot of lateral movement or side to side movement in your training, this can be great for your back. I noticed that a lot of CrossFit training that I've done over the years. I competed at the CrossFit Games for many, many years, and that was great, and I loved it. It was a great chapter of my life, but I also became very stiff in kind of that one plane. So lateral movement or twisting rotation, a lot of transverse movements, I didn't get incorporated into a lot of my training. I did have it here and there, but I noticed it became very stiff in the rotation, so I'm incorporating this more into my training, and it's definitely over 20. All right, ooh, that's a nice one round. Let's go second round. So these two other rounds will go a little faster. Same thing, tuck the pelvis, extend. We're gonna go through this flow a little bit faster. If you guys have any questions, you can always leave them in the comment box below. Anything you guys want to see more of, whether it's my prehab exercises, mobility, stretching, flexibility, upper body, lower body supersets, lifting, accessory, conditioning pieces, anything you guys want to see more of. If you want to see stuff outside the gym, like my nutrition, the food that I eat, how much food do I eat, a day in the life of Margot, whatever you guys want to see, feel free to leave a comment and share. I'll try to do more content pieces outside of there. Some of my staples, obviously in the morning, are coffee with my collagen and MCT oil. I actually have my collagen or my coffee over there. I'm gonna grab some in a second. Squirrel brain. And then another staple that I have in the morning, I already had this morning, was my oatmeal. I do oatmeal with 1 scoop of protein, and depending on my schedule, I'll have creatine in my oatmeal, or I'll put creatine in my post-workout shake. And then I'll have blueberries, and I used to do half a banana, but now I eat a full banana. Yay. So that'll typically be my first meal. So coffee with collagen. Actually, let me retract a little bit. In the morning when you guys wake up, highly recommend you guys get some water and salt in. It's starting to get really hot here in Vegas. And in any environment, obviously during the summertime, there's more heat, more humidity. Highly recommend adding in some salt into your water. So I'll take about a teaspoon-ish of salt. I'll pour it into a teaspoon or a spoon, toss it in my mouth, 12 to 14 ounces of water, and then I'll down that as my first thing after I kind of wake up. Then I'll have my cup of coffee with collagen, 1 scoop collagen, then my second cup of coffee, because who only drinks 1 cup of coffee? Definitely not me. Second cup of coffee, I have a scoop of MCT oil powder, so it's kind of creamer. It's great for brain fuel, provides a little bit of energy, a little bit of fat in the morning. And then I'll have my oatmeal protein, blueberries and banana. And then I'll have my kind of, I guess, second meal after that. Usually it's late morning, early lunch. Or I guess late morning, early afternoon. All right, another 10-second hold. So if you guys are following along, love for you guys to follow along, do this at the same time. You guys are more than welcome to. I highly encourage you to do this. These are great exercises. I've been doing these back exercises, man, ever since like 2012. So there's been periods of time where maybe I didn't do them as much. I will say last year, as I was training for the Go Ruck Games, I got invited to that about a month before it kicked off. And being able to do that was great. I was really excited. I like ramped up my amount of rucking, training with rucksacks and sandbags, but I slacked hardcore on my back exercises. I also slacked hardcore on my mobility, my prehab, and I think that was detrimental in a long-term way, where it didn't really affect me or hurt me there, but it hurt me in the long run of not keep my back healthy. So if you guys are on the fence or thinking, oh, I don't need these, why not try them? Give them a go, see how they feel. I definitely think you can benefit from them. Again, everyone's a little different. And if you are dealing with injuries or limitations, obviously see a doctor. I am not a doctor. See someone like a PT or a chiro that can help you with that. I highly recommend seeing someone because it gives you an input, especially for those that are specialized in that. I am a fitness coach. I am a fitness trainer. I am certified through NASM. I've been so since 2011. No, 2009, excuse me. 2009, wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Also CrossFit level 1, level 2, level 3 certified. I've done TRX, kettlebell certifications, mobility certifications, CrossFit Kids, a lot of different certifications under my belt, a lot of different experience. I've been 15 years within the fitness industry, competed for many, many years within the CrossFit space from 2011 to about 2019. Competed at the CrossFit Games for 6 years in the row as an individual. And then my 7th year consecutive, that was a team. So I do have a lot of experience. This is what works for me. Hopefully this is beneficial and helpful for you. If it is, you guys can feel free to share, like, and comment below what you guys find most helpful. All right, that was second round. Talking and trying to work out at the same time is hard. So second round, we're a little faster. We are the 3 staples or the 3 movements that you're doing for 3 sets. 3 movements for 3 sets are these, the cat-cows. You want to get full range of motion as much as you can. I have a little bit of pinching on my hip and right side of my glute because of the stenosis and pinched nerve. So I'm just trying to get as much range of motion as I can. After those, then you're going to do the bird dogs. Again, I'm doing 10 on each side, so 20 total. You can modify by doing 10 total, 5 and 5 on each side. The focus here is to draw the belly button to the spine. After this, you'll do the glute bridges and the single leg glute bridges. Those are the ones you're doing for 3, as well as the dead bugs. Remember, when you do these, you really want to flex your foot, activate the glute and hamstring a little bit more. Today is going to be low impact. Not that yesterday was high impact, but today we're going to do more prehab, rehab exercises, mobility, feel better. I'm super tight like a tiger. And then of course this upper body stretch, this is called puppy dog. One of my go-to exercises, great for your upper body, thoracic spine. You always can modify to a child's pose if it's too much. This will also give a stretch on the lower back. All right, last round. Again, 10 glute bridges here. If you guys have questions or comments, feel free to leave them below or in the chat. 5 is nice and sweaty already. 7, 8. After this, we're moving to shoulder exercises. And we'll do a little bit of stretching. All right. So this is another great stretch. You can kind of pull like a tuck into the legs. Then you can go do a happy baby. Happy baby is a great exercise. This is performed in yoga a lot. So it hits your adductors, hips, hamstrings. Happy baby essentially is your ankle in line with your knee. You want to think of driving the cat or driving your thighs down to the floor. I'm really tight because ideally you want to have a flat back as much as you can. Like you're pulling your pelvis to the ground as you extend the legs. I'll always, if you guys could hear my hips pop right there, I always try to extend the legs like a straddle. But adductors are really tight from the walking that I've been doing and the squats, the 300 squats. This is a butterfly stretch. Typically I'll do it in an upright position, but I'm trying to open the hips a little bit. They're super tight. We're gonna do some lacrosse ball work here. You can kind of push on your thighs, create some space in the hip and the spine. Feels good, All right. All right, that wraps all the back exercises. I should have started a timer to see how long that was going. Here's my coffee with my MCT oil. Best Smug, Montana, the last best place. And of course, a little bit of hydration, electrolytes in here. If you guys are looking for MCT oil powder or collagen or electrolytes, check out the links. Those are brands that support me. I love them. I take them every day. But you can check out the codes and the links below to save. But highly recommend them. Any questions, let me know. All right. Before we move on to the shoulder exercises, we're going to take a lacrosse ball. This is actually a mobility ball. So mobility wad. Kelly Starrett. Woo! You can get it on Rogue site, which is also linked below. The ball's going to go kind of in your piriformis hip, upper hip glute area. You can relax on the floor here. The focus here is kind of like soft tissue work, so you're gonna roll kind of in small circles. Ooh, nice and spicy. It is trash day, so trash can pickups will be coming by soon. Ooh. All right, so you wanna get to the top of the glute here. You wanna obviously avoid bone. You do not wanna be in the bone, but you wanna work kind of side to side. You can extend the leg, straighten the leg. Actually, extend and straighten is the same thing. Excuse me, bend, you're gonna bend, straighten. You can kind of pull in, relax. But we wanna work the soft tissue. My hips have been really tight. Woo, woo. You can get to the TFL here on the side. Move side to side, small circles. I'm trying, truck going by. I'm trying not to talk too loud into the mic, yell into it, hear me breathing. It's like the scary movies where like, trying not to do that. I'm such a clown. All right. So if you guys don't know me, I am a goofball. I am corny as F, but I don't care. That's who I am. I want to make the most of life. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy it because life is super short. Life can be taken at the drop of a hat. If you guys don't know, when my middle sister was taken in 2008 in a car accident, she passed away at a very young age. She was 20, so it's unfortunate that it happened, and I would change anything to obviously have her still be here, but it was a learning lesson at a very young age in life and try to make the most of everything that I have and not take things for granted. So I'm just who I am because I feel like life's too damn short, and if we try to fit in someone else's box or try to be somebody else's version of who we think we should be, it's just not worth it down the road. So be you, be true to who you are, enjoy yourself, live your life. And work your ass off for yourself for what you want. All right, so I don't know if you guys heard, but my hip did pop. So if you feel like your hips are tight, if you've ever popped your hips in a good way where you're releasing the hip joint, just like kind of how you pop your knuckles, right? Kind of fluid in that area that's moving along, making that sound. I've been doing it for years, so it feels good when hips are really tight, muscles really tight. It's hard to do that. Now we're moving to the front. So I like this mobility ball. You can also use a softball, a baseball. You can use a lacrosse ball or even tennis ball. Problem with that is it's kind of small, so sometimes the smaller surface area can be more intense, but it's also harder, especially if you're on the floor. You could always do this against a wall. But a softball or this mobility ball you can get from Rogue is a little bit bigger. The softball is going to be a little bit firmer, but this is kind of like a hard rubber. It has a little bit of give to it, but it allows you to get into the small crevices here in the hip joint. I'm in the front of the hip here, so I'll move side to side. I'll also go down top and bottom, and we're going to hit the side. I want to spend probably like 10 minutes here, but we don't got time for 10 minutes. And then we'll go to the back again, and then we'll switch. I'll rotate so you guys can see the side. So pretty much working kind of in the middle of the glute up to the hip here, so kind of base of that hip, kind of below the hip bone, but I'm here into the piriformis, center of the butt, all the glute as much as I can, then I'll run to the side of the hip. My right side, I've been getting some pinching in the nerve that refers into the piriformis. I'm also getting a little bit of like sciatica, so it goes into the hip and then sometimes it goes down the leg. I'm not getting numbing. I'm getting more of a tingling because the nerve is being pushed. My bulging disc is between L4 and L5, and it's bulging more to the right, and that's where it's putting pressure on the nerve. A little bit of spinal stenosis on the right side, so that's where I'm getting that kind of that tingling, nervy feeling. And so obviously the PRP that I got almost 2 weeks ago will hopefully help. This will be the second week, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going crazy in terms of lifting. Not that I haven't been going crazy in terms of lifting, but making sure I'm being aware of that so it doesn't aggravate it. No running. So I'm looking forward to increasing my running or start picking up my running after the second week. But I'm hopefully getting this release. I know when I move, when I stretch, when I walk, it feels a lot better. When I sit for periods at a time, that is no bueno. That is when I start to feel more of that numbing, tingling, and it kind of goes down the leg. I'll feel a bit on the top of the foot, feel it in the toes. My massage therapist said that the bottom of my feet, especially on the right side, there's a lot of scar tissue down there. Everything's really tight. So that could also be causing some numbing and tingling on the top of the foot. So I'm trying to make sure I'm rolling out the bottom of my feet with a lacrosse ball. If you guys stand a lot, if you wear toe-stilled boots, if you're on your feet a lot, whether that's for your job or for work or coaching, whatever it might be, highly recommend rolling out the arches of your feet. Also making sure you're stretching your calves and the peroneals, the side of your calves as well. So I'll actually be going to a foam roller here in a second, and we're gonna just touch briefly on every part of the body. I'll give you guys some tips to think about when you foam roll, whether you're using a hard PVC pipe or a foam roller. Highly recommend that. Woo, this right side's way tighter. I will recommend when you guys stretch or when you do mobility, recommend starting on the side that's more tight or that needs a little more love and attention. So for example, I've noticed that when I got some body work done, some massage, she was saying everything on my left side's more tight, but your left side's also your emotional side. It's also the side that deals with more of the emotions in body and life. And so I think with everything that's been gone through with my family recently, my mom being in hospital, having surgery, a multitude of other things that in my personal life that I just don't share. I think that the left side is tight in those aspects and kind of holding on to a lot of stress. Right side, I think, is compensating and taking over for that. So the right hip's really tight. Also doesn't help that my herniated disc and bulging disc is pushing to the right. So that's also a contributing factor. So when you guys are looking at your body, if you're assessing your body, your mind, whatever's going on, look at more than just the gym. Look at more than what you're doing inside. Look at what's going on the outside. What is your inputs? What are your outputs in life? What is your environment like? How is your sleep? What is your stress level like? What are your relationships like? What is your mindset? How is your mentality? Do you feel pretty confident with yourself? Do you have a lot of self-doubt? There's a lot of things that play into it. I have 6 foundational pillars that I work with my clients, and those are what we check in on a weekly basis. I think they're very important to have those and touch base on those, because we might think, oh, my nutrition is good, my exercise is good, but like my sleep's horrible, or my relationships are really stressed, I'm going through fights, or I'm going through a divorce, or I'm fighting with my family. There's so many things that go into it. So I think it's really important to take an assessment of those. Again, my perspective, I'm just one person. You don't have to listen to me. You could just negate it, but just something to think about. All right, that feels amazing. All right, let's do upper body real quickly. So lacrosse ball or softball, we're gonna move the mic to the other side. All right, so left side first. Even though it's on my right side, we're gonna show left side because I'm already here. So this ball is gonna be inside your shoulder joint on the pectoral muscle. If you just did tons of push-ups or upper body, you're gonna wanna slowly, gently roll into this. You're gonna roll side to side, up and down. You can kind of take a deep breath. As you exhale, push into it and relax. After you do that for about a minute or so, you can move the ball to the top of the shoulder, bring your hand off to the side, palm facing up. You're slowly gonna rotate palm facing down and then pivot back down. So a small range of motion with the arm here. You could even go overhead, but I feel like that rotates into the armpit a little bit. I wanna focus more on the head of the shoulder here, front of the delt. So I'll go back and forth, nice and easy as an option, all right? Then I'll bring the hand back, kind of lean into it. I can go down a little bit of that bicep head, top of the shoulder here. And then from here, what I'll do is I'll bring the arm into the side. I'll start on the side, and then I'll roll to the back. So back, side, front. My shoulders are super sore, so we're not gonna do this for too long. But you can sit here, hold, deep breath in, exhale, and then same thing. You can do that as you move along to the shoulder. Then you get to the back of the shoulder where the arm meets the body here. So you can create a 90-degree angle, hard to kind of show. I'm trying to show the back side for you guys. I'll show you guys the front side and the opposite side. 90-degree angle here. And I'm gonna go hand to the back, external rotation. Then I'll rotate palm facing in. I'll show you guys here in a second. I just wanna show the back version of where that ball is going to be. Again, internal, external, you can do that as well. Create small circles on the back. And then I can even roll onto the back. This is very important. You wanna make sure the lacrosse ball or mobility ball, whatever you're using, is between your shoulder blade and your spine. So you do not want to be on the spine. You want to be on the soft tissue, the muscle. And 2 options, either arm across the body here and you can move side to side, Or pin that ball, bring the hand by your hip, palm facing the center of your body, extend the arm overhead, try to reach, elongate, and relax, or reach, elongate, and relax, and or go back and forth. You can also create a circle to the side, woo-hoo, spicy, and then you can go across the body as well, all right? So we're kind of hitting everything in that shoulder joint. I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side here. I'll do the right, but then I'll show you guys, I'll flip back over to the other side so you can, I'm struggle busting right now. This is taking a long, I thought. All right, so same thing, I'll show you guys from this side, then I'll show the front side on the right arm. So same thing, working the center of the chest, pec muscle. You wanna make sure you're not having any pain. Obviously, if it's tight or tender, that's a different story. But if you're getting pain that's referring somewhere, be very gentle. So pectoral muscle here, top and bottom, deep inhale, deep exhale. And you're more than welcome to spend more time here. We're just gonna be keeping this kind of short and sweet, 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds to the absolute most here, as I wanna make sure I get to a couple other exercises that you guys can incorporate. This is a day for, you know, low impact, easy recovery. If you still want to be active, I highly recommend when you take your rest days, still stretch, still do mobility. Our body is designed for movement. Every time we move, we get increased blood flow, depending on the type of movement you're doing, right? But if it's a rest day, should be low impact, nice and easy, maybe a walk. Some people like to do chill runs or some sort of activity where the intensity is really low, to each their own, right? All right, now I'm gonna switch to you guys and see again for the side. Hair is coming out. All right, so now I did the front, now we're doing the side. So the ball's kind of on the side of the shoulder, about an inch or so from the top of the shoulder. I'll roll to the front, working that delt attachment site. You can sit and hold into it. Side, sit and hold into it, inhale, exhale. And then you, ooh, that right side is smoked pancakes. All right, so this is a variation I'll show you guys in a second with a 90 degree. So you can go back and forth, you can hold. Some people say, just like foam rolling, you need to find a spot, sit there, stay there, but versus like going really fast. I'll rotate through, I'll try to kind of massage the joint. I'll try to sit and hold that position. Everyone's a little different. Okay, so this is the 90 degree elbow in line with the shoulder. I do this other exercise with a hole, but I do it with a lacrosse ball because I'm so far off the ground here. It's kind of a little bit of angle. But external rotation, where you're dropping your hand, my right side is tight. Ooh, and then internal. Ooh, this is pretty bad. Clearly, I need to be doing more of my lacrosse I can't talk. Lacrosse ball exercises. So again, you can hold or dynamically move. Right side's really effing tight. Whew. And then we'll go to the back. So same thing here. If you guys can kind of see the ball a little bit better. So I'm inside the shoulder joint, or inside the shoulder blade, but I'm between the shoulder blade and the spine. I'm not on bone. You want to avoid being on bone. And I drop my hand to the floor. Lacrosse ball may be a little bit easier because it is a smaller surface area. You can get into the smaller crevices. If this is too much on the floor, you can always go against the wall. So you put the ball where you want. Same thing, I move the arm up and down. I move it across the body and back. I move it outside, right? Or I go to the top and I reach, extend, so we're getting the rhomboids here, maybe a little bit of that upper trap if you roll a bit higher. But those are, whew, I feel like a whole new woman. Those are some great exercises. Do a lacrosse ball, just to give you guys reference. This is a lacrosse ball. This is a mobility ball. So similar to about a softball-ish size. So it's a little bit different in size here. This can be easier to get into the smaller areas of the chest. I personally like the bigger one for the hips, just because I can get into those areas a little more. So those are some exercises you can do. Let's fix my hair. What time is it? Whew, 9:30. Time's ticking. All right. So we've hit the back. We've hit the shoulders. We're going to do a shoulder and hip exercise here. This will be dynamic. Okie dokie. Let's do real quickly. Alrighty, so this exercise, one of my staples as well. We're gonna create a 90 degree angle. This is a dragon pose. So if you did a dragon stretch or a low dragon, right? Great exercise to incorporate. But now we're gonna incorporate the kettlebell. We're gonna be doing a shoulder external rotation. So keeping the wrist over elbow, elbow line with shoulder. We're gonna go out to a 90 degree, back in front of us. So we really wanna focus on the arm externally rotating versus the torso, if you guys can see the difference. If you guys, again, want to support, you're more than welcome to like, subscribe, follow along for more, leave a comment below, share this with others. Hopefully sharing the video will inspire others to get to the gym or start their fitness